Magic World Reviews, Week 18. I'm James Anthony, and this is...
Daniel Meadows.
And welcome to the whole new look Magic World Reviews. So, if you have not yet subscribed or watched our review show, welcome to the show.
Yes.
Today we'll be reviewing 3 products. Then after that, we'll be revealing the winner to last week's prize, which was the BENZ, if I remember right.
It was.
And of course, we'll be giving away a brand new item ready for next week. So there is a competition involved as well, which we're very excited about.
We are.
As always, we love giving things away to you guys. So let's move on straight away with product number 1.
So this is the Deck Switch Special. So we've got 3 different products.
Yep.
All to do with switching decks.
Exactly. Are we going to actually say what these products are before we start, or are we going to make it a surprise?
I think we've blown a surprise with the title Deck Switch Special.
Let's move on with product number 1.
Ooh.
Here we have
the
cooler.
Bear with me with this one.
Yeah,
bearing
with you.
For your viewing pleasure, I actually tracked down and bought one myself. So here we go. This is a cooler. I'm not trying not to.
Where's the box?
There isn't a box. They didn't give me a box, but there we go. So I'm putting that there so we don't...
There we have the cooler,
We don't show too much about it. But I tracked one down. I bought it so I could have a play with it. So we could do a deck switch special. So the cooler, what is it? It's something that allows you to switch a deck. It's a mechanical device that looks like a card box, and it allows you to switch decks. And ENGBLOM, who designed it, this was the standard, and loads of people bought one. And it was a good
it's a fantastic piece of kit, let's be honest. I mean, a lot of the big names are saying it is the deck switch. It's the best one out there.
It's very, very clever. It's a little bit knacky until you're used to it. And you'll see loads up for sale on second-hand sites, because that's how I acquired that one, because people don't really know what to use it for. I think that's the big problem. If you're doing a parlour set, this is perfect. You don't need to go next to your pockets.
Tell you what,
to do it.
Let's cut to a shot of the cooler now. The cooler!
Okay, we have our deck. Try and do a nice turnover. Aha, look at that. I'd like you, with your magic finger, to look at these cards and to slide one of them, push it over here.
Okay, I'm not going to go for that because you influenced me with that. I'm going to take this one, right?
This way, this way, this way.
This
So
way,
stay on camera.
Sorry, we're staying on camera. There we go.
So, one there. I want you to do one more, but with your other magic finger this time. So we've used both magic fingers.
There we go.
So we went for the Jack of Clubs and the Ace of Diamonds.
Indeed, yes.
That spread. Is there anything special about those 2 cards? Do they mean something? Is there anything I could have known beforehand?
No, but they'd make a mean, mean card.
Brilliant. So
choice.
They would if you were playing poker or anything, wouldn't they?
Exactly.
So do you want to show them to the camera?
There we go. We've got the Jack of Clubs and the Ace of Diamonds. Fabulous.
Brilliant. So I'll take the deck. I'll respread. Did you show both sides to the camera?
I just did, yes.
Oh, you did? Great.
Did.
So do you want to turn the spread for me?
Kind of giving away the ending, this, here, isn't it?
It is.
What?
Because you managed to pick the only 2 red cards from the deck. And they're totally clean. You can do what you want. Ta-da! Okay, so the first thing I'd say is please excuse the presentation. This was just so you could see it in action. So it's a deck switching device where you don't need to go to the pockets. Christian does it a lot better, and you need a little bit more acting. I don't have a routine, as you can probably tell. I just had to throw something together like he does, just so you could.
But we did do a fair bit of research on switching decks.
Yes.
Including going to books and delving around to find out what the best ones are.
Yep.
You know, I've still got my opinions on half of this stuff, is that when you're doing a live gig, you can switch it in your pocket and nobody's seen a single thing. I mean, that's just my opinion. If you're doing real working magic, unless you're sat down doing a parlour, and you're really that anal that you can't do a lap switch or something like that, okay, you use these devices. Yes, they have the nice... They are good, don't get me wrong. If you can do things clean on the table, brilliant. But I still like doing switches in my pockets. People never figure out.
I think working pros have survived long enough doing their Omni decks and everything else with what they're currently doing. So don't think you're suddenly going to get rid of it just for a cooler. However, if you've got a routine, and it would be perfect to be able to do everything out in the open, never going near your pockets, anything like that, this could be icing on the cake. If you don't already have that cake in mind, I wouldn't necessarily say buy it.
Now, we've got to keep every product down to 5 minutes. So what are the good points of cooler, and what are the bad points?
It's really simple. It's really easy to assemble yourself. It's customisable.
But that is part of it. You have to assemble it yourself.
Yes.
It comes with half of what you need. The rest of it, then, there's a bit of sticking involved and a bit of magic.
You're gonna have it. It's not hard to do at all.
Yeah.
Even I managed this. So you've got to do a little bit of DIY,
Yeah.
not much. It's like some glue.
But you can use any pack of cards and you wish, so it has its bonuses.
You customise it. It's not already done. So you make it. So if you use a particular brand, you can make this into your brand.
And in many ways, it does work cleaner than some of the other ones out there. Although, what we will say is that visibility in a close-up set, I'm not sure if I would do it really close up. No. Perhaps in a pub, you know, when people aren't paying attention, you could get away with it. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't really want to be putting this box on the table if people were really, really close.
No. Again, I think that's why we've stressed it's more of a parlour, a stand-up thing.
Yeah.
It's part of a formal presentation. You probably wouldn't want to use this table to table.
But outside of that, no one would ever notice.
No, if unless we're saying it's the deck
box?
switch special and we're pointing to it like that, then you start scrutinising things a little bit more. But because Christian's quite a laid-back sort of guy, he gets away with it, and he's got some nice sort of moves.
Nobody pays attention to the box anyway.
You don't see it. There is a discrepancy. It's fair enough to say that. However, it's one that does fly because it's so natural. There's misdirections, everything else. You might not have got that from the video of me doing it because I don't have everything formed. Christian does it really well. Check out his video.
I watched a couple on YouTube, and literally in slow motion you can pick up the cooler. And yes, there's a discrepancy. You don't quite... Yeah, I don't follow, but you don't follow what's going on, and you've done a deck switch right in front of them. So, yeah, it does work very well. That is the cooler. The cooler costs £40.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's on our website yet. If it is on our website, you can buy it below. The links will be in Show More. If they're not, that just proves that we're offering a good, honest review show and not plugging our own products all the time.
I think Christian brought it out a few years ago, and then Vanishing Ink picked up the rights, and they do a lot of the marketing of it. So it's definitely available on their site if it's not available on ours.
Exactly. Fabulous. So that's the cooler. Now, what does cooler have in its competition? Well, first of all, we need to give this a rating. I hope they didn't see that as you took that away.
We'll cut that out.
As for the rating for cooler, what are you doing down there?
I'm just putting it away.
We'll get to the next bit in a minute.
Okay.
What would you give cooler out of 10?
I think it's very, very clever.
Yeah.
I'm probably more in the 6 to 7. Unless you've got a particular use for it, I wouldn't suggest you buy it. It's a cool toy to play with.
Yep, it is cool.
This is something that you probably need. You say, I need this particular purpose, buy the cooler. I wouldn't necessarily say, buy the cooler, find the purpose. That's probably the wrong way to go.
I was going to give it a 6.5.
Yep.
Shall we do that?
Yep.
6.5 to cooler.
Done.
Oh, yes. Let's move on to trick number 2, or review number 2. And this time we're going to review SHIN Lim's Ultimate Deck Switch.
No,
2.0.
Flash Deck Switch.
That's the one. Flash Deck Switch 2.0.
And to be fair, it also needs to give credit to Rich Picone.
Yes.
Because he did part of it. SHIN sort of finished the job, and he does share credit.
Okay.
So SHIN Lim in credit shop.
Right, where's the box? Where's the box? It was all like neat and tidy under here. So here we have the Flash Deck Switch 2.0. All comes in a beautiful, nice box that has a usual magnetic flap. I love that.
It's a bit like BENZ, the BENZ box,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. So this is the way it's going. As you can see from the box, you're not going to get a DVD in there. What you do get is the download instruction link that's on the inside. So that's why I'm not showing it to camera.
But isn't it cool how we get more excited by the boxes than we do the actual tricks?
You do. So the gimmick. Talk about the gimmick.
Inside, the gimmick itself.
Flashing everything.
I'm not flashing a single thing there. You'll see that on the camera. Flash Deck Switch 2.0.
You're not flashing a single thing.
That wasn't that way.
It was.
Okay, shh, they can't see that. Basically, the Flash Deck Switch is a very, very novel way of doing a deck switch. It's very visual, it's happening there right in front of their eyes, and there's only a small amount of misdirection required just to get them off beat. At that point, you do the switch. Very easy to do.
Yep.
A little bit knacky.
Yep.
You have to be very careful on how you place the box on the table. You have to be careful that cards don't fall out. And you have to be careful on the actual change.
You
Not
do.
going into too many details there.
You do.
But
there's a little bit to think about.
Yeah.
Probably a big consideration for some people. It doesn't work particularly well with a full deck.
Yeah.
Even Shim says that. So he has to take a few cards out. So if that's important to
It
you...
is important to me. I want a full deck of cards. However, it has got its applications and...
It looks more like a box.
Yep.
So that's definitely in it. I think some things that we need to say are it is 2.0. So if you were one of the people who invested in the first one that broke a lot, I don't know how durable this one is. It's got stronger stuff that helps you, but I think with playing with it, this is probably going to break.
We have been messing around with this one a lot more, and it's still holding up fairly well, let's be honest. Something's just fallen on my foot and killed me there. But it is holding up fairly well. Whether it would last up to, literally, hours of performance every day, or walk around in my pockets where things get smashed up, definitely, but not.
And
But
you do get extra stuff and a tutorial on how to do what you need to do to replace it. So if it does break, you've got the material.
What are we doing? We need
to
to cut to a video of this. Let's cut to it.
Quick.
Now. Right, we're going to give a quick demonstration of what I would call the flash deck switch. Flash deck switch is pretty cool. Just going to leave the box cards down here because not only can you switch a deck of cards in literally a second, but now we have a blue deck over here. And we're back. So that is the flash deck switch 2.0. As you can see, there's multiple applications, multiple ways of doing this. And it is a great way of switching right in front of the spectator's eyes. Is it worth buying? I'm kind of in two minds. Again, like the cooler, I would probably say...
I think it's better than the cooler. And we had some ideas on probably like a hybrid between the cooler. So the cooler was the inspiration for this, but they went about it a different way. And the manoeuvre is probably still as knacky, but I think people will pick this up quicker than the cooler.
Yep.
It also looks more like a box when it's on the table than potentially the cooler does.
It does. It is the old box design though, isn't it?
It is.
That's the only thing, the old box design.
And it only comes in red, so I don't think you get blue anymore, because that was the 1.0, and it's if you're a Phoenix user or anything else.
But I watched the video earlier, and he does teach you
it.
how to adapt and put any boxes onto the fronts and backs of them, so it is customizable to your own decks.
But other than that, it comes ready to go, so that is probably I think a plus point for it, and the teaching's very good.
Yep.
Again, no DVD, it's a download link. I think that's more and more is going that way.
He said that he didn't put it in plastic for his own reasons. Now, I personally think a white plastic would have potentially worked very well with this if it was correctly done, because one side of this is actually, although you cannot tell properly, it is a vinyl sticker. Which I've been analysing this closely. It's slightly more glossy.
You wouldn't want it to be examined, and I think from my angle here, and I know forgetting the angle, but you can see stuff that you shouldn't be able to see on a normal card box. Is what I'll say. Again, only because if you put it out, only because you know what you're looking for. In most company, it might fly. I think again, this is more for your parlour-y stuff. But I don't. Would you use that for walk around?
Not for walk around, no. Unless I was literally doing the same tricks over and over again, or the same little routine I had time to set up in between each one. Shut up. I entertained a whole hour the other day for this
Not an hour.
An hour, just out my little close-up box. You know, none of that stage set up. So yeah, all in all, it's a good thing to... It's worth buying, I would say. If you don't like it, you can always pass it on again. You can always resell it. But if it's not for you. But personally, I would like to give this a go. If I was doing a parlour set, or if I was working on a ship, or I was doing sort of a table routine, with practice, you can get this down, and without fumbling, it will work. So
people who might like this, so if you've got a specific purpose, but if you're a mem deck worker, so you're into your Monica or your Simon Aronson sort of one, you might have a purpose for this, because if you've had a deck shuffled and you want to go into your memorised deck routine, bang, you can be in front of them and do that, and you're in your pocket.
But you can also be in and out of a brainwave deck, you can be in and out of invisible decks, you can do the switch twice, so you're going back and forwards 3 times for a routine, you can do colour changing decks. You know, he does actually say think outside the box. Yeah, and he gives a lot of advice on like other tricks you can do with it. Although he doesn't demonstrate those tricks on the video, he goes over the applications of it and his thinking. So I think it lasted about an hour, the video.
Again, if you've got a specific purpose in mind, I would recommend it.
Right, we're repeating ourselves here, so let's give it a rating. The rating for this...
the cooler, this is for this one.
I know, that's what we're doing here. Let's get on to the cooler.
I'm saying the advice still applies.
Hey, people left a comment last week saying... do you two get on?
We do.
We are really good friends. We are one of really, really good friends. And,
not that good.
Not
just for the record, not that good. But we're good.
Yeah, not like that. No. Flipping heck, what's going on? We need to get this finished and go for some beers. Yeah. Right. Coming back to the review, we're going to give this. Well, I personally am going to give this a 7.
I think it's better than the cooler.
Yeah, that's why I give it a 7. Yeah. I didn't want to give it 6.5.
For the right person, that might be a 9.
Yeah.
I think for general Magic Land, it's probably in the 7 sort of region. So I do think it's better than the cooler, even though I do like the cooler. I think there's a more dynamic nature of it, and it would hide in plain sight a little bit better. Yeah,
you do have to, like I say, cover that one move a little bit more than the cooler does.
I wouldn't be happy putting it on the table.
I wouldn't be happy, no. But again, who's looking at the box?
No, not that bit. It's just the part of putting it down, it's a little bit. If the table went against you, you wouldn't want to do it.
Or someone knocks into it, then
it's
cards
not
go everywhere.
It's not going to look good.
So yeah, it's got to be a controlled environment. That's what we'd say.
Yeah.
So, do you agree with that rating? Right. Here's the rating below here.
And it's $24.99.
$24.99. That's a bargain, isn't it?
And it's in stock. Buy now.
Yep, there we go. Let's move on to the final piece of today, because we've now gone through the actual gimmicked items for deck switches, and we thought it'd be really nice to bring in something a little bit different.
So I was at the Session convention earlier in the year, and I was just showing that one as well.
Okay, well,
so I went to the Roberto GIOBBI lecture, and he did his deck switch lecture, which actually is in here as a bonus.
Oh, wow.
So you get the DVD. And
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's good.
Can I borrow this book afterwards?
No. So what's really good about this is you've got 30 deck switches and the requirements of each one in a table. So do you need to be seated? Can you be stood up? Is it technical? Is it during a specific trick? On the offbeat? So he goes through, do you need to be wearing a jacket? Blah, blah, blah. And he teaches 30 different ones. Now, what's really good about it is that most people will just imagine you need to go into your pockets or in between tricks, just bring out another deck, blah, blah, blah. So I did one.
You did a quick trick?
Just a very, very quick one, which is one that he did in his lecture. So let's have a look at that.
Cut to this. Now. Go for it.
Okay, so it's going to be no frills, but just so everyone knows what's going on. We have our deck of cards that Anthony here is going to shuffle up for me. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Nice and jumbled. Good, good. It would be a shuffle deck in use. This is just an example, really. What did you have for breakfast?
Full English.
Full English. Extra sausage?
I went back for an extra sausage.
Ooh, I don't know if this is...
And I had 2 eggs as well.
2 eggs, ooh, I don't know about that. I'm going to run my thumb down here. You just tell me to stop, to select a card.
Stop, yeah,
there.
right there,
So anything that's below, where you just stop me, spread them up, and turn face up, and put them here.
Okay, right.
Whatever we've got is going to go face down.
Right.
Everything else is going to go face up. So we've got one card that's a mystery card that's now reversed in the spread, and I'll spread them out.
Cool.
Actually, we'll do that over here. So we can see it. Marvellous. I also did this. Before we started, I didn't tell you this part, but I did the same.
Okay.
Okay. So in here, I have a deck, and I also did the same. So I spread one, and you can just see that we've got one card.
No way.
And we've got one card. Now, do you know what that card is?
Not a clue. Holy
It's the
moly.
same one. Dum, dum, bum.
That is one good trick.
So, it's not over. So we'll get rid of those. That goes back away. So, you shuffled these first, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Right, hold on to those. I'm going to turn around. Show the camera the 4 of clubs that's on top, then the 2 of hearts, then the 7 of diamonds, then the 3 of clubs, then the 4 of hearts, then the 6 of diamonds, then the 8 of spades, then the 5 of hearts. Am I right?
Yep.
How about the 9 of spades, the 2 of spades,
Yep.
the Queen of hearts? I think we've got the picture. Is that right?
What?
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and that's the Trojan deck switch. That comes from the book. I've just gone off screen. That's from there. So that's one example effect that we'll talk about.
Okay.
And we're back.
We are back. So yeah, it has a nice application.
So that's the Trojan deck switch. Obviously I don't do it as well as Roberto. That was just to show you, because I know we get a lot of comments saying, please can you perform something, please can you perform something. So please don't savage me. It was just to show you a deck switch in action. And that was a deck switch for me to get in my mnemonic stack. I'm still working on it, which is why I could only go up to, I think I got to about 13, but I can do up to 26, King of Diamonds.
Yeah.
I'm getting better.
Very good.
So that's the thing. So it can be a shuffle deck in use, bang, and it's switch. And that's nice because it's a little effect that gets you into it. So there's so many ideas in there that I hadn't seen, and he goes through different classifications. So he puts the cooler and the flash deck switch into one category, and then goes through a lot of other ones. Most of it is the psychology, and that's what you get from this. You don't necessarily get the psychology from buying the prop, but Roberto knows a lot about psychology from seeing his lecture and card college and everything else that he's done. Fantastic. So I would say as a different option, you're getting quite a few different deck switches. You're getting 30 and pointers to different ones.
And there are pictures in there that teach you how to do it as well, rather than just diagrams. There's some lovely pictures. It's easy. All of his books are really easy to understand.
And you've got the lecture, which I saw was a fantastic lecture. If it's the same one as the session, it's a fantastic lecture.
Fantastic. The price of that is £40. Now, we're going to go into the review section, even though, we just wanted to compare it, really. However, we've got to review it because it's absolutely amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I'm kind of giving it away again here. But...
It is, and it's even subtitled A Guide for the Beginner and the Expert.
Yeah.
If you want, it's not a book you're going to sit down and probably read cover to cover, necessarily, but it's a reference book. You might want to do it the first time to know what's in there, but it's a reference book. When you're working on something in particular, you might say, right, these are the conditions I've got. Is there anything that I can do that, this one is perfect for me?
So, I would like to give this book a clear... you've seen it more than me. I've got my figure in mind.
If you're talking about deck switching, it's got to be a 9.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else out there that's as comprehensive as this that I've seen.
So here we go, a 9 for the Art of Deck Switching, Roberto GIOBBI, and that is £40. The link to buy it is down below in the Show More section. So now for the winner of the competition. Last week, we offered to give away, where is the BENZ?
It's on yours.
Well, we dropped it on the floor earlier on today. Here we go. The BENZ. The winner of BENZ this week will appear in the Show More section down below now. So that's the winner for BENZ that we gave away. And of course, we recommended this to go to a European dealer person because... of course, it didn't work too well with English.
No, it didn't. And just a comment, I know last time with the editing department had a bit of a blooper. When he says it appears now, it doesn't always show if you're on a mobile. If you're on your...
I might have more of a blooper because you're too close to that edge there, the whole of the show. So if there's a big black gap in the corner there, it's because he stepped over too much.
So sometimes things don't appear on a mobile device, they do appear on your home computer.
They do, yes, exactly. Someone said...
So it was there.
We do put the annotations in. YouTube removes it on mobile devices, but they are trying and planning to get them working again in them very soon.
So just a note.
Exactly. And yeah, that's it. So the winner for BENZ is down below. And this week's competition, we're going to give away an XPRESSO. Yes, an XPRESSO. This is one of our own tricks, and it got really, really good reviews, and it's been one of our best sellers at Blackpool.
Blackpool bestseller for 2 years, hasn't it? It is a really good effect.
I think we have given away one before, but why not again?
It's a great effect. And when you meet Vinny in a few reviews time, he is the Espresso King. So if you've ever come to our stand, it's odds on Vinny will have shown you this Espresso, because he's the Espresso King.
So yeah, what have you got to do this one? I think we need to get people to leave comments this time. Okay. So here we go. Leave us the nicest comments you can, or the best comments of what you think of this green screen studio. Is it epic? Is it awesome? Is it incredible? Or is it a pile of crap?
Delete is applicable.
Hopefully you prefer today's layout, and if you do, please let us know. Either way, we are always after improving for you guys at home. Until next week, wait. We need to decide if any of these products go on the worker's wall.
Okay.
Worker's dream. It's a hit. Or highly recommended.
I thought it was crowd pleaser.
Crowd pleaser, same thing.
See,
highly recommended.
So much is the show.
So, which one of those? Do any of these products today go in any of those?
I would probably put the book, The Art of Deck Switching.
I'm going to put that. Let's put that in.
I think it's a hit. Yeah. I don't think it's the top one because of the very specific nature of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's more of a crowd pleaser. I think it's a hit. It's really solid. It's a great definitive guide to switching decks. Okay,
I won't cause argument today. I think I'll agree with you on that completely. So let's put that one in. The other two, we're going to leave them out for the moment.
Very specific purpose.
Yeah,
very specific purpose. So if that's what you're after, go for it.
So it's a hit. That goes in. So yeah, thank you. You can check out the Workers' Wall here now. And otherwise, from myself, James Anthony,
Daniel Meadows,
we will see you next week.
Ta-da.
Why do I keep clicking my fingers when I do?
It makes the magic happen.
It does, doesn't it? That's a bit too much of an ending, that wasn't it? See you next week.
And I did a da-da.
Da-da. What did you do da? You need to da-da. Break into a little song and da-da.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day, and we've got like another review to shoot next week, not right now.
I brought a change of t-shirt this time.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I think, what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below if you think he should be wearing a Magic World t-shirt like this. If you think he should be wearing a Magic World t-shirt like this, leave a comment below.
And if you think I should actually get paid to do this rather than giving up my own free time, leave a comment.
I get you good deals on things. So yes, leave a comment. Anyway, this is the outtakes. We're not supposed to be actually talking now. Doing anything
this
serious.
Is where you go. Or don't sing or put something else in again. You spent longer sorting that clip out than you did of like editing the rest of the show. I feel pretty. What was all that about?
That was brilliant last week.
You spent longer doing that than you did editing the show.
All right. Tell you what, let's just go. Let's just
okay. Goodbye.
Bye bye.